Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a simple penny, only to discover it could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're talking about a coin that has sparked excitement among collectors for decades, the 1974 Lincoln penny. Minted at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognizable in the world. At first glance, the 1974 penny might look completely ordinary, especially since billions of them were produced. In fact, more than 4 billion were minted, meaning they are still commonly found in circulation today. But here's the exciting part. Hidden among these common coins are rare variations and valuable pieces that collectors are always searching for. That's why you should never underestimate even the smallest coin in your collection, because one tiny detail could turn an ordinary penny into an extraordinary discovery. When it comes to value, not all 1974 pennies are created equal, and understanding what makes one special is the key to unlocking its true worth. One of the biggest factors is minting errors. These mistakes happen during the coin production process and can make a coin incredibly rare. For example, double die errors can cause the letters or numbers to appear doubled, while off-center strikes create a unique and unusual look that collectors love. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a cutting error, can also significantly increase value. Beyond errors, the condition of the coin plays a major role. Coins that are well preserved, shiny, and free from scratches, often referred to as uncirculated or high-grade coins, can sell for $50, $100, or even $500 or more depending on their quality. Professional grading services often rate coins on a scale, and those graded MS65 or higher are especially desirable. So if you have a 1974 penny that looks almost brand new, you might be holding something much more valuable than you think. Now let's talk about the most mysterious and exciting part of the 1974 penny story, the aluminum version. In 1974, the U.S. Mint experimented with making pennies out of aluminum instead of copper due to rising metal costs. These coins were never officially released to the public, and most were destroyed. However, a few examples are rumored to still exist, making them one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the world. If a genuine 1974 aluminum penny were ever found and legally owned, it could potentially be worth millions of dollars at auction. While the chances of finding one are extremely small, the possibility alone keeps collectors searching through their coins with hope and excitement. So how can you check your own 1974 penny? Start by looking under the date for the small D mint mark, which indicates it was made in Denver. Then examine the coin closely using a magnifying glass to spot any unusual features or errors. You can also weigh the coin. A standard copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while an aluminum one would be much lighter. Every small detail matters, and taking the time to inspect your coins carefully could lead to an incredible discovery. The 1974 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how something small and often overlooked can hold surprising value. Most of these coins are only worth a few cents, but certain rare examples can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, and in extremely rare cases, even more. That's why coin collecting is so exciting. It combines history, mystery, and the thrill of the hunt all in one. So next time you come across a penny, don't just ignore it or spend it without a second thought. Take a closer look, because you never know what hidden treasure might be waiting right in your hands.
Next up, we're going to explore the 1990 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people overlook, but one that still holds excitement for collectors around the world. This coin was minted at the historic Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest minting facilities in the United States. It proudly features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American coinage for generations. The small P mint mark under the date is what makes this coin special for identification, as Philadelphia did not always include a mint mark in earlier years. In 1990, however, the P mint mark became a standard feature, and millions of these pennies were produced and released into circulation, making them very common at first glance. But as any experienced collector knows, even the most common coins can hide rare and valuable secrets. Let's dive deeper into what actually makes a 1990 penny valuable. While the majority of these coins are only worth their face value of 1 cent, there are specific factors that can dramatically increase their price. One of the biggest factors is minting errors. These are mistakes that occur during the production process, and they often turn ordinary coins into extraordinary collectibles. For example, double die errors can cause the text or numbers on the coin to appear slightly doubled, which is something collectors actively look for. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is not properly aligned, can also create a unique appearance that increases value. In some cases, coins may show die cracks, cuds, or other unusual marks that make them stand out. These error coins can range in value from $50 to several $100s, and in rare situations even more, depending on how dramatic and unique the error is. That's why carefully inspecting your coin is so important. Even the smallest detail could mean the difference between a common penny and a valuable one. Another extremely important factor in determining the value of your 1990p Lincoln penny is its condition, also known as its grade. Coins that have been heavily used in everyday transactions tend to show wear, scratches, and fading details, which lowers their value significantly. However, coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, known as uncirculated coins, are far more desirable. These coins often retain their original shine and detail, making them attractive to collectors. A high-grade coin, especially one rated MS65 or higher, can be worth $20, $50, or even more, depending on its appearance. Coins with a bright red color, often referred to as red pennies, are especially valuable because they have not been exposed to air and oxidation as much as others. Professional grading services can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade, which can greatly increase its market value if it scores highly. So, if you come across a 1990p penny that looks almost brand new, you may want to consider getting it professionally graded. Now let's talk about how you can check your own coin at home. Start by looking closely under the date to confirm the presence of the P mint mark. This tells you the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Next, use a magnifying glass or even a smartphone camera zoom to carefully examine the coin's details. Look for any signs of doubling in the letters, unusual spacing, or parts of the design that seem off. Check the edges and surface for cracks or raised lines, which could indicate a minting error. You can also compare your coin with images of known valuable varieties online to see if anything matches. Taking your time during this process is very important because valuable details are often small and easy to miss. Some collectors even use digital scales or special lighting to get a better look at their coins, especially when they suspect something unusual. It's also important to understand the realistic value breakdown of the 1990p penny so you know what to expect. Most circulated coins will only be worth 1 cent, as they are very common and widely available. Slightly better condition coins might sell for a few cents to $1. Uncirculated coins can range from $5 to $20, or even more depending on their quality. High-grade examples in near-perfect condition can go even higher, especially if they have strong eye appeal. Error coins, on the other hand, can be worth significantly more, anywhere from $50 to several $100s, and in rare cases even more if the error is unique and highly desirable. That's why carefully inspecting your coin is so important. Even the smallest detail could mean the difference between a common penny and a valuable one.
Next up, we're diving into another fascinating coin that could be hiding right in your pocket, the 1989p Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary coin, but don't let its simple appearance fool you. This penny was minted at the historic Philadelphia Mint and proudly features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front. The P mint mark under the date confirms it was produced in Philadelphia, and by 1989, including this mint mark had become standard practice. Millions of these coins were struck and released into circulation, making them extremely common today. But as every experienced collector knows, even the most common coins can sometimes hide rare and valuable surprises. Now let's explore what actually makes a 1989p Lincoln penny valuable. While most of these coins are only worth their face value of 1 cent, there are specific factors that can dramatically increase their worth. One of the most important factors is minting errors. These are mistakes that occur during the production process, and they can transform an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible. For example, double die errors can cause the letters or numbers on the coin to appear slightly duplicated, which is a key detail collectors look for. Off-center strikes can create a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted, making it unique and valuable. Other errors such as die cracks, cuds, or even wrong planchette strikes can also significantly raise the coin's price. Depending on the rarity and visibility of the error, these coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s, and sometimes even more. Another major factor that determines the value of your 1989p penny is its condition, also known as its grade. Coins that have been heavily circulated usually show signs of wear, scratches, and fading details, which lowers their value significantly. However, coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used in everyday transactions, are far more desirable to collectors. These coins often retain their original shine and sharp details, making them stand out. High-grade coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can be worth $20, $50, or even more dollars, depending on their overall appearance. Coins with a bright red color, often referred to as red pennies, are particularly valuable because they have been well preserved and have not oxidized over time. Professional grading services can help determine the exact grade of your coin, which can greatly impact its market value. So how can you check if your 1989p Lincoln penny is valuable? Start by looking under the date to confirm the presence of the P mint mark. Then, use a magnifying glass or zoom in with your phone camera to carefully inspect the coin's details. Look for any signs of doubling in the text, unusual shapes, or misaligned designs. Pay close attention to the edges and surfaces for cracks or raised lines that could indicate a minting error. You can also compare your coin with images of known valuable varieties online to see if you spot any similarities. Taking your time during this inspection process is very important because small details can make a big difference when it comes to value. Let's also break down the realistic value of a 1989p penny so you know what to expect. Most circulated coins are only worth 1 cent due to their high mintage. Slightly better condition coins might be worth a few cents to $1. Uncirculated coins can range from $5 to $20 depending on quality, while high-grade examples can go even higher. Error coins, however, are where things get exciting. These can be worth $50, $100, or even several $100s depending on the type and rarity of the error. While it's very unlikely to find a coin worth millions from this year, the possibility of discovering a valuable error coin keeps collectors searching every day. Next up, we're diving into a coin that many people overlook but could still hold surprising value, the 1974 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. At first glance, this coin may seem completely ordinary, but don't let that fool you. This penny was minted at the famous Philadelphia Mint, and the reason it has no mint mark is because during that time, Philadelphia coins typically did not include one. On the front, you'll see the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has become one of the most recognizable in the world. With billions of these coins produced, they are still commonly found in circulation today, but hidden among them are rare and valuable examples that collectors are constantly searching for. Now let's talk about what actually makes a 1974 penny without a mint mark valuable. Even though most of these coins are only worth their face value, certain factors can increase their price significantly. One of the biggest factors is minting errors. These are mistakes that happen during production, and they can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. For example, double die errors can cause the letters or numbers to appear slightly duplicated, which is something collectors love to find. Off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned, can also make a coin unique and valuable. Other errors like die cracks, clipped planchets, or unusual surface marks can also boost the coin's value. Depending on the rarity and visibility of the error, these coins can sell for $50, $100, or even several $100s, and sometimes more. Another key factor is the condition of the coin. Coins that have been used in everyday transactions usually show signs of wear, such as scratches, fading, and discoloration, which lowers their value. However, coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used, are far more desirable. These coins often have a bright, shiny appearance and sharp details that make them stand out.
High-grade coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can be worth 20, 50, or even more depending on their quality. Coins with a strong red color are especially valuable because they have been well preserved over time. Professional grading services can help determine the exact condition of your coin and may increase its value if it receives a high grade. Now here's the most exciting part of the 1974 penny story, the possibility of rare, experimental versions. In 1974, there were trials involving aluminum pennies due to rising copper costs. While these coins were never officially released, a few examples are rumored to exist. If a genuine 1974 aluminum penny without a mint mark were ever discovered and legally owned, it could potentially be worth millions of dollars. While the chances are extremely small, this possibility keeps collectors searching through their coins with excitement and hope. So, how can you check your own 1974 penny without a mint mark? Start by confirming that there is no mint mark under the date, which indicates it was made in Philadelphia. Then, examine the coin closely using a magnifying glass or phone zoom. Look for any signs of doubling, unusual shapes, or errors. You can also weigh the coin. A normal copper penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If your coin looks unusual or different in any way, it might be worth getting it checked by an expert. In conclusion, the 1974 Lincoln penny without a mint mark may seem common, but it still has the potential to surprise you. Most of these coins are only worth 1 cent, but rare error coins and high-grade examples can be worth much more, and in extremely rare cases, experimental versions could be worth a fortune. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting, the chance that something small and ordinary could turn into something extraordinary. So next time you find a penny, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you might be holding a hidden treasure. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more amazing coin discoveries. Your next valuable find could be just one coin away.